Live? Okay, that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show will commence in 5 minutes. While you are waiting, please hit the like button and share the video link.
Please like and leave a comment, and share this video.
Only 3 minutes until the start. Only 2 minutes until the start.
Please like and subscribe to this channel today. And don't forget to share it and hit that thumbs up. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the awesomeness is about to start in 1 minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show is about to begin. Grab a drink and a snack, sit down and enjoy watching the show. Don't forget to comment, like the video, and share it to others.
Whoa, show 46 live from Minsk, Belarus. Hang on, Duke.
Yeah. I like that intro music. Video's good. Nice skies. Driving in Belarus.
I'll get another one on Friday. I'm driving down there.
Okay. Hopefully the weather's good.
Yeah,
Like that.
yeah. Tonight we're doing slightly something different. We've turned the lights off, the ceiling lights, so we look a bit better.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. Duke's got a little couple new things behind him.
Yeah.
On air sign, Belarusian flag.
Yeah.
One of our coffee mugs, if you want one.
Yeah.
Anybody? £10 plus postage. And hey, we're both wearing white. How come? What happened?
What's that? Who?
We're both wearing white.
Wow. Well, I'm kind of I don't even know what this color is. It used to be a gray T-shirt, and I thought, wow, it's too dark of a gray, so I
Bleached it.
Yeah, I put a little bit of bleach and some water in it, and I've done this to another gray T-shirt. I was thinking, there's something weird about this. It turned, I was thinking, is that pink? I don't know what color. It's not pink, but it's kind of a
did it again.
pinkish.
Sorry.
What's that? You
mean,
forgot the
translation. I'm such an idiot sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. It's on there.
Hope you didn't turn off the Russians, and then
There you go.
yeah, but we're on like YouTube and Rumble now, right?
Yeah. And I was told that Rumble's not allowed in Russia anymore. They stopped it, which is a bit weird because RT and that's on Rumble.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Just in case, if you are watching this, or if you're watching this on maybe YouTube, soon I believe we are going to maybe crash into RooTube, not YouTube.
Yes.
RooTube. I'm hoping.
Yeah. Another couple of weeks and we'll be on there.
I think it should be possible.
And on TikTok.
Yeah,
Going
TikTok.
to organise that. I've got a busy day today. Got a new computer. Haven't put that in. That'll be next couple of days. Tomorrow we've got the Victory Parade. We'll be restreaming that if you want to tune in. What time's that?
Yeah.
About 10 o'clock or something? 9 o'clock.
I'm not sure, but
No,
I had
Tom?
some other excitement that I should add this because
Yes.
it was so exciting. in
Okay,
this week.
here we go.
Dave had, of course, a really exciting couple days.
Yeah,
but
just driving.
but one porcupine, he broke. I'm sure it's a he. He
Escaped.
He escaped into the cage of a bunch of other ones, and this guy was kept separate because he's got his lower teeth stick forward. It's got like the opposite of having buck teeth.
Undershot.
And they were fighting, and there's quills all over the place. I don't even know when. And I was thinking, when I first opened up the I was going in the room, and I'm hearing and I was thinking, oh, I thought they were mating or something. And then I realized, I looked over and I saw the other cage was empty. And it looks like one got into that cage, and then they both got back into the main cage where there's a whole bunch of them. But anyway, I had to keep them separated, and I had to start calling for help and some guy came and he brought a cage. Luckily, we got them separated, but a porcupine fight, that's pretty frightening when you think about it. Porcupines fighting, and you don't really want to, you can't grab them.
Imagine if they were the size of an elephant.
Oh my. Well, a couple of them are pretty big. We feed them really well. A lot of I tell you what, you go to the Minsk Zoo.
Not the size of an elephant.
Yeah, not like elephant, but you see the size of, like, there's a black panther.
Yeah, they're big, aren't they?
And it's huge. It's huge. On the television, they look like they're smaller than a lion. But I tell you what, they're the same size as a lion. They're huge and they're heavy, this black panther we have. And then we have some leopards that are also big and heavy, And I was thinking that lions were much bigger, but they're not. These other cats are huge too, and they're heavy. And I tell you, I wouldn't want one to be jumping on me with those claws and those teeth and stuff. It's frightening looking.
When I moved to Alaska, I Saw grizzlies for the first time. They are massive.
I've only seen stuffed one in the Kodiak airport. I don't know if you've seen that. It's huge.
It's on its hind legs. Yeah, it's huge, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 7 or 8 feet tall, or
Yeah.
well, it's bigger than 7 feet. It's I don't know. It's like 8 feet, and it's like wow.
You see the size of its the size of its paws.
I just remember the thing was huge. I can't remember the size of the paws, but
Yeah.
the whole thing, everything was massive on that thing.
Yeah, the big animals.
Even
big
like
animals.
king crabs. You've seen those stuffed? You know, I worked in a cannery for a while, and the king crabs, you know, like they stretch from the tip of one, I don't know what you call them, arm or something to the other. It's like 6 feet. It's 6 feet from one side to the other. I mean,
That's why they're called king crabs.
yeah. And like there's snow crab. It's also pretty big, but as a matter of fact, maybe they're even bigger, but I don't know, but they're both huge types of crabs, and you don't want to stick your finger in their pinchers because it's not, you know, you might lose that finger. I'm thinking.
So we've got our new cameras up, but they gave us the wrong lenses. They're wide angle instead of zooming, so we're a bit wide. So we'll just have a look at them before we start.
Yeah, show them to them.
Yeah. So on the left is normal webcams, and then we have. Oops, not that one. There's me. There's me.
You look like in a pilot.
Yeah. Yeah. So it looks all right.
Red one.
Yeah.
I'm getting attacked. I got a tail.
You can read the writing on this one, and so they're going to send me new lenses, but that's fine. And that's you.
Yeah, red one. I got a tail. Shoot him off me.
So we can switch through them pretty quickly, and that's our other one over there. It's pretty. That's just a normal webcam.
Who's that old guy there? Oh, that's me.
Yeah, this guy. It's the same guy. You look a bit yellow. You look a bit Chinese.
Yeah. I was reading about Xi Jinping being in Serbia today, so that's why I changed yellow.
Right. Yeah. Gonna have to do something about the colours and contrast about that. Yeah. So that's where we are at the moment. New computers, and we've got new. Well, you can't see them. We've got new stands for the screens for Duke and all that now. They look good. Everything's off the table. Soon all the cables will be off the table. And then we're just boring the shit out of everybody that's watching right now. Anyway, let's start. Off we go. Mr. Lukashenko, he is in Moscow right now. He left today. There he is. That's him arriving to talk with President of Russia. And he will be at the victory parade tomorrow.
Yeah, he was last year too. Last year, I remember he had. They said he was sick, or I can't remember if that was something. But as you know, in the United States, he's going to die. He's got cancer.
Right. Yeah,
you know,
right.
they all are.
Yeah,
like Putin. Putin survived so many. You know, what is it?
Well, that's because he's got all those clones.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then tomorrow afternoon he'll be back here laying wreaths at the Independence Square. So anybody in Minsk, if you want to go and see the big man, who running the country very well.
Yeah, it's actually amazing. I tell you what, you have to be living here, and then you know, it's like I fear for if that guy's ever gone. You know, I don't know.
Yeah,
I got my reasons.
Yes, and on the victory parade tomorrow, I'll just grab this. They will have some WW2 stuff, for Great Patriotic War, as they call it here and in Russia. There's a T-34, some army jeeps and that, all from World War II, and what they call Stalin's organ. You know, that makes that noise.
It's not the organ is in
his body,
medical
no,
terms.
It's the sound. Yeah, the Germans used to call it Stalin's organ. So yeah. There's the St. George's cross on everything, and it's supposed to be. It's going to be good tomorrow. So tune in if you want to watch it. We're going to restream it. I don't know if Duke can make it. Maybe he'll be here, maybe not. But I'll be here, and I'll be restreaming it. And I can't remember what time it starts. 9 or 10 o'clock Minsk time. I think it's 10 o'clock. But I'll be here ready for that. While that's on, I'll be going to build a new computer for the studio.
Yeah, Dave can do that stuff.
Faster, bigger, better.
Yeah.
Actually, the lighting looks better without the lights on the top. Yeah, it's much better. And that's it for my news about Belarus. And
Oh
all
no,
that.
no, you have a video of Belarus, right?
Oh
With,
yeah, yeah,
of
yeah,
Lukashenko.
yeah. I was just going through the parade and all
Yeah,
that.
about
So.
talks a little bit about a comparison of World War II, and present Belarus.
Yes. Hang on, I'll just grab that. And,
You know, as a contrast compared to like a lot of these other countries when they talk about how powerful they are and all this sort of thing, you know, we will vanquish anybody that, you know, he doesn't do that. He's just basically saying, you know, we're going to get a bloody nose if you, you know, or very bad bloody nose if you attack Belarus.
yeah, well, because it's
Yeah.
a defense force. It's not an offense force like other people.
Yeah. But he basically talks about the red
That's 'cause
lines. And
they never invade places or attack places. Belarus.
yeah, all this crap that you
Hey,
hear
I
in
wonder
the
how.
West.
I was thinking your suggestion about the Peace Prize. I wonder how you can nominate him. Is there can anybody do it, or do you have to? I don't know who does it.
I don't know because, you know, I mean, the
You have to
thing
get
is,
so many signatures or something. I don't know how it works.
but you know, it's like it's not based in reality, and it's like he's got a over the long term never attacked anybody, never been involved in any wars and things like that, and and then all the people that they've been given these Nobel Peace Prizes to, a lot of them are warmongers. Like look at how many wars did Obama start, you know? And of course I've heard that the Swedish Nobel Peace Prize committee wanted to take it back from him. I don't know, did they or didn't they? I have no idea. But a lot of these people, you know, they're you know, involved in wars. And just look at Belarus. It's kind of like the old Germany, like Bismarck said, Germany will be formed with blood and iron, because, you know, its strategic position kind of in between a whole bunch of things. You look at the 30 Years' War. It was a stomping ground for Sweden and in the Habsburgs, or the, you know, the Holy Roman Empire. Everybody was going through, you know, Germany lost a lot of people in the 30 Years' War. And look at Belarus, lost a lot of people in the Second World War because it was a stomping ground, just like what Germany was in the 30 Years' War. And, but, you know, Belarus is in this position, and it's kind of in the center, and some, like the West and the East, they have to go through Belarus for the most part. And, you know, in the North, you know, and maybe it would be Ukraine in the South, maybe, I don't know, or depending on what you're attacked.
That's how they did Germans. They attacked Brest, didn't they, first?
Yeah, well, that's a lot of wars have started going through Brest, you know, and that's how that was.
Not Brest, France, everybody. Brest,
Yeah.
Belarus.
Yeah, but I mean, look at it. I mean, since he's been there, there's never been a war. I mean, through Belarus, and no attacks from Belarus either. And I think he's even said there will not be an attack. There will not be an attack initiated from Belarusian soil.
That's apparently one of NATO's new red lines.
What's that? Belarus attacking or something?
Yeah, Ukraine.
Well, they these
or
guys
Russia coming across from Belarus.
Belarus
they're going to jump in.
Belarus isn't
we know
going to
that.
attack anybody. I mean, and these guys, I think it's for public consumption to say a bunch of crap as if Lukashenko's going to be attacking somebody.
Yeah. Anybody knows how to nominate someone for the Peace Prize? Let us know. Well, maybe we can try and do that. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. You know, and it's like they had, what was it? You saw that video, and then they cut off the part, you know, Lukashenko was sitting in some kind of a bunker or something.
No,
somewhere.
it was a tent, and he was just talking to the guys about what would happen if
they attacked Belarus.
If they attacked, and this is.
But they cut that part off, right?
Yeah, they cut that part off, and it looked like he was going to attack someone.
Yeah, they made it look like he's wanting to attack the Baltic states or something like that.
The Gap, the Suwalki Gap.
Oh, the Suwalki, yeah.
Yeah, it's all bullshit as usual. So, do you want to read this?
If I can, let's see. If someone uses weapons against us, we will respond. And see, remember this part. Remember that sentence when you see the rest of this video. If someone uses weapons against us, we will respond, and instantly. Now listen to the rest.
Применит оружие против нас, мы ответим. Притом мгновенно, мы не будем рисовать.
We will not draw any lines. We are not Russia, thousands and thousands of kilometers across.
Никаких линий. Мы не Россия. В тысячи километров. Там можно рисовать линии.
There you can draw lines and expect something. You can't take over Mother Russia right away.
И чего-то ожидать. Россию, матушку, сразу не захватишь. А Беларусь, как показала,
But Belarus, as the last war showed, ceased to exist within a month.
последняя война, в течение месяца она перестала существовать. Сейчас будет.
Now it will be even faster. Therefore, no lines, none.
Еще быстрее. Поэтому никаких линий, никаких. Любая агрессия.
Any aggression, and there will be an immediate response. So that's why he's going to say there's an immediate response, because Belarus doesn't have. It's back then. They had what, the Stalin line, things like that. You know, you had defenses. You had the Brest fortress, and it was armed, and there is no Brest. You know, it's just a site now. It's a memorial. So they don't have that. Much is said today about the nuclear and other weapons which this Mr. Lukashenko will use or not use, and so on.
Говорят о ядерном и прочем оружии, которое применит, не применит этот Лукашенко и так далее. Послушайте.
Listen, this is a weapon of deterrence. This is a weapon of defense. No one will go on the offensive with these weapons.
Это оружие сдерживания. Это оружие защиты. Никто в наступление с этим оружием не пойдет.
Well, he's actually right when you say that. These are like tactical nukes. These are not like nukes to destroy Warsaw or something like that. They have a big boom, of course, and a big destructive power, but they're not something that you're going to attack a country and defeat it with. Unless, of course, maybe it's a little Baltic country. Maybe no, I don't know. I'm not serious about that.
I started reading a book, and the plan was in the 50s and 60s to drop 40 or 50 nukes just on Moscow.
40 or 50?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, even the Hiroshima nukes, that's...
No, these were hydrogen weapons. They're it's quite an interesting book, but yeah, very, very evil people.
But you were even telling me once that there was a plan to drop a nuke on Minsk as a warning.
Yeah, as a warning. Yeah, in the 50s or 60s as a warning. Yeah.
In the 50s or 60s, drop a nuclear bomb on Minsk as a warning.
Nice.
Look at the mentality of these people, and then you think that Lukashenko is going too far by having some of these tactical nukes, but then look at what these people have said in the past. They almost nuked Cairo at one point in time. And the U.S., they used to have some sort of a deterrent policy. Oh, we will not nuke. But they said they will initiate. They drop that barrier that they will initiate a nuclear war. The West and all this. They're a bunch of crazy fools over there. I mean, all it takes is one. They got the policy to support some kind of a crazy leader. They're talking about some rogue state. Well, who's the big rogue state? The one that, and who's the one that caught, what is it? A Chinese guy just said, a famous, a well-known official said that historically the United States is the biggest warmonger that's ever existed.
We played that last show. I think that was the Foreign Minister.
Yeah.
Also, this book, it said they had a meeting and they said for deterrence after the war, 40 weapons would be enough, right? That would be 40. That's all they needed. And then within about 3 years, they had 69,000. They're just pumping them out.
Yeah. And Israel, nobody knows how many nuclear weapons they have. Everybody knows, even though Israel never admits that they've got nuclear weapons. It's a known fact that they do.
You know why? If they say they have got them, U.S. under the U.S. law can't supply them any weapons.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something about this nuclear proliferation treaty and all that kind of stuff. But
you've gone white.
I'm gone white?
Oh, no, you're yellow again. No, you're white again. I wonder what's wrong. I have to work on that.
Is that something? Yeah. Getting racist now. That's in a way.
Anyway.
Yeah.
We'll have to work on the new cameras.
Yeah. But so we should start on the other news.
Oh, you're white again. Stay there. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, go for it. Next thing. Next.
Okay, video. We have a video of Queen Rania of Jordan. Pretty lady. There's it's kind of like, what's his name's wife? Assad. Yeah, very beautiful ladies here. But
speaking English?
Yeah, she speaks English too, I think.
Okay.
I think she's speaking English here.
What's it about?
It is it's terrible, unfortunately. Jordan's in a difficult position, but I don't like what she says here. Listen to this.
Okay.
And I'll comment on it afterwards.
Every single day to put myself in the shoes of an Israeli mother who has a child that's been taken as hostage, or any young Israeli who has been taught and who's heard of the horrible persecution that the Jewish people have had to endure in Europe. And I try to empathize and see where they're coming from. And absolutely, we need the hostages to go home as soon.
Yeah, listen to this, and of course that's a small clip, and technically speaking, you could say, oh, it's taken out of context, but in a way it's not. It isn't, because she would not be talking like that at all in any clip, out of context or not, because what she was saying or making us think that this is coming from the heart, but it's actually not. You see that this is tactical, and you see the power of Israel, and maybe I don't think it's the power of money, because I think they're wealthy anyway, but it's like, she didn't say anything about the Palestinians. How many tens of thousands have them been suffering far, far worse? Well, I mean, hundreds of thousands, if you want to think about the decades, 70 years of the persecution of those. And she must be fully aware of that. That's Jordan. That's right next door. But yet she's talking about the Israelis, and it makes you really wonder, what the heck? Why is she catering to the Israelis, when the people, the Palestinians have done far more suffering than what's going on just this minute, these hostage things. And by the way, as all these hostages that have been released, and even the Israelis that were present at this October, whatever it was, at the 7th or 6th.
October 7th.
Yeah, they you hear about the these Palestinians and how polite they are, and how they try to protect these hostages, and they share their food, and they basically they're giving them as much comfort as they can, trying to keep them safe. And all these hostages say that, and it's so bad. And this stuff you won't even, I don't know, I mean, I'm wondering if they're going to even play this on YouTube. But these people have said, that, well, what Israel does, when these people come out in public and say that, Israel doesn't like that at all. And they said that if any of these people come out and speak in public, they have to pay a fine. I think it's $1,800, a fine they have to pay for speaking about their captivity, because the captivity, it's not like they're tortured or given bad treatment. They're being very respected. They're not raping any women or doing, just like what the Israelis were saying. Oh, they attacked and they were wantonly killing and raping all the women, and all this, you find out, is all nothing but BS. And I tell you what, when you think of the level that you're lied to in all this news in the West, it's just daunting. It's daunting, and you can watch shows, especially this one. I have to admit, ours is probably even more truthful than a lot of the other.
You recommend our show?
Yeah, I recommend us. Buy
Yes.
today.
Yes.
But I mean, they're sure I like a lot of these other people, and of course I do, and I support them, and they, they're well spoken and everything like that. But I mean, I don't know if they go as far as we go. There's Max Blumenthal, of course. He's the one where I got a lot of that information about what was really happening on that October 7th, and he, of course, is adamant about it. That these are a lot of lies and things like that. So just so you all know, look up Gray Zone Max Blumenthal, what he has to say about what really did happen there.
Yeah.
But she's talking, it's at, and what did she say? That, it's, let me see, what did I have in my notes here? Jordan, like most all countries, certainly wants peace, but at what cost and for whom? That it's a double question, for at what cost and for whom. And that the one answer is at the cost of the Palestinians. That's one answer for both of those questions, at the cost of the Palestinians. And she maintains or mentions putting herself in the shoes of the Israelis. But, like I said, what about the Palestinians? What about a Palestinian mother? She should, I don't know. I'm wondering what the Arabs think of her talking as she was just now, and not mentioning anything about the Palestinians, But anyway. Yes.
Well, Jordan's bread is buttered on which side?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it just shows what power Israel actually has over the narrative and over people. and you control the people, and with the narrative, just like, we'll show you something about with a congressman a little bit later, and even what Joe Biden says, but
Epstein must have done a good job, eh?
yeah, I'll tell you what, I mean, the people that are watching the show, and you've watched us and what we've had to say, before, what's really going on, and that there's some people pulling some strings, and of course the real truth is not going to be coming out. You have to find it yourself, unfortunately.
Or watch the show.
Yeah. Well, we'll do the best we can to keep people informed, and like I said, there's others as well, and I honestly think that we do a better job, because a lot of this stuff they're not going to tell you.
I think you're biased.
I'm biased for us, of course. Yeah. And we'll show you some
and we do it. We don't make money from it.
Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of these people are making a huge amount of money. We don't make 1 cent, not 1 cent from this stuff.
Nope.
And Dave's put in a lot of money for, he builds up more and more, just like we just talked today. He's putting, better cameras in and this sort of thing. And, it's coming out of his pocket. All this even gets me hamburgers sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we like the truth, I guess. That's
and taxis.
That's the major. Yeah. The taxi cost.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, he's pays me in those ways too, because I kind of like, coming here and, we don't get to talk with you. We're just basically given a monologue here, but it's, respecting the truth.
Soon we're going to take phone calls in the next week or so.
Yeah.
You'll be able to call from
Really?
the US, Australia, or the UK.
Yeah.
Local call for them.
Yeah. That'd be great. Getting comments and answering and all that. Might get some crazy nuts on here.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Okay. Well, we'll show you Israel's work. We have a look at this. Some of the most powerful bombs that the U.S. makes that nobody really wants to use because they're so powerful. They wouldn't drop these in residential areas, but Israel does. This is Rafah. There's other photos of the same thing too, that same thing. And I tell you, in a lot of these terrible pictures of lots of dead children and things like that, it's, like I said, we'll be talking more about this stuff as the show goes on. So he started his promise. I think it started on Sunday. Everybody's saying he started on Monday, but I think it was Sunday our time. We were doing the live show then, and I think that's during that time is when they started the bombing of Rafah, as he promised.
We can't show the next photo.
Which one is that one? Oh,
genocide support for Israel.
Wait a minute. That one, if that's a video.
Oh, the video, yeah.
Oh, that's not. I think that one is.
Yeah, the problem is YouTube now won't like the top bit, which I'm looking at, which is those dead bodies.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we can show that on.
At the end.
At the end, we'll show that on Rumble. For those of you that tune into Rumble, I guess it's a lot better for you to see a lot of this stuff. And it's not like it's going to make you vomit or something.
It's not us, it's them. It's YouTube. Yeah. That's the problem.
And it's not a sick video. It's no guts and blood and things like that. So it's just what it shows, and they don't want people to see the things, what it's going on and what they're doing there. Yes. And anyway, so bombing Rafah, that was first a safe zone, and the Israelis told Palestinians to flee there. So I think over 1 million people fled into Rafah, and now, I think they told them to go somewhere else. Where that is, I don't know. They bombed pretty much all of Gaza by now. There's nowhere left for them to go. And that's right on the border of Egypt. And I think it used to be a refugee camp or something in the past, Rafah, and it's, of course, turned into a big city. It's terrible. You think about, like we just said, about the 70 years they've been running these Palestinians all over and they're hoping, I guess you could call it ethnic cleansing, that they would kick them off of this land and then take it over and just make it a Jews-only place. So, but these people are adamant that's their home, and they've been there hundreds and hundreds of years, and they don't want to move away for all these Europeans that are moving there, claiming that that's their home and God gave them that land and all that. As a matter of fact, they had lands that were given to them. They had a portion of Russia that was given to them, and of course they didn't want that. They wanted to be there. And this is like we go back to the Balfour Declaration and all the deals made, with the Rothschilds and all that. So you guys have to look that up. 1917, after things happened. A lot of things happened in that year. The Sykes-Picot Agreement and the Balfour Declaration, and interesting kind of history about learning this. Yes.
Colonials cutting up countries.
Yeah, well, that was like the Sykes-Picot Agreement. It was like foreign ministers of France and England deciding on how they're going to split up, all the colonies and things like that. And like I mentioned already before,
colonialism. That's not bad.
Yeah, moral reckoning. Yeah, they like France was supposed to be getting that area, and actually it ended up in British hands. I don't know enough to know why it ended up with the British, and then of course they, wheeled and dealed and lots of things, and it was part about World War II, getting the Americans in on the side of the Allies rather than the Germans because they were wondering, and then they made up lies about Germans raping nuns and all that sort of thing. And a lot of this was actually the fear. One of the reasons for the start of World War I was that Germany was really becoming a huge industrial power, and they were outperforming England. It's similar to what's going on now, like with Russia is becoming far more powerful economically. And a lot of this is, of course, the West getting scared of Russia's economic power and China. And so that's why they want a war, or they want to keep them down, find a way to push them down. And that's what was happening in World War I. And Germany was making more, that was when they were starting to build submarines. And England got scared of the ability of Germany making a lot of these submarines. That was one of the main things and of why they started the war. And, it's a lot of other things too, but we don't want to go into history too much here. Yes. And not only did they start dropping bombs on Rafah, they sent in, I think, 17, right away on the first day, 17 bulldozers to bulldoze homes and all sorts of other things, And yes, and I guess what we're watching is U.S.-made bombs dropped from U.S.-made airplanes using U.S. technology, and yet the U.S. says, "Oh, Israel better stop. Israel better stop." We have an old video of Netanyahu. We'll be playing that later on about what Netanyahu says about U.S. telling Israel what to do. And that was from the 80s. But all that stuff is based on that.
Coming up.
Yes. And the next video was supposed to be Joe Biden talking and showing what this is. But at the same time, this video was key, but we'll play it later. But what it says is, no matter what, we will still support Israel, no matter what they do, is what it is, and all that. And then they're showing all the bodies and things like that. So that's just so you know. Yes. And I'll tell you what, I can wager that at least over 100 other politicians in the United States have said the same thing. We'll show you one later. Like I said, somebody who shouldn't be talking that way.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, any talk about restraining Israel is just for public consumption because it's election year, as everybody knows. And the majority of the U.S. politicians, they owe their office, where they're elected to, the office that they hold, they owe it to the scheme that's set up going through Israel, through the AIPAC lobby. We talked about it before. The United States sends $4 billion, at least, that's the minimum, sends $4 billion to Israel every year, and they call it a loan, and Congress always votes to forgive that loan. And it's another trick so that Israel can say, we've never defaulted on a loan because the United States Congress never asked them to pay it back. In other words, so they've never, we always pay our loans back, when in fact they don't. And should be a lot of Americans should know that they're sending $4 billion, and that's just the guaranteed $4 billion, but they send a lot more to Israel, and a lot of this money comes back, and it funds American politicians' campaigns to run for office, and they can outdo anybody who does not get the funding, because it's a lot of money. And if you remember Cynthia Kinney, I think I mentioned that in the last show, she didn't get this funding, and that's one reason why she couldn't stay in office. Cynthia McKinney of Georgia, a great person, anyway. So that's the mechanism of funding. It's like a money laundering sort of a deal. Yeah, and at the same time, now the United States is threatening the International Criminal Court. They're threatening, and it was, who was it that was saying it's like a mafia? Oh, it was Garland Nixon saying it's just like the mafia, and they're threatening very badly the people on the International Criminal Court. If they do anything to Israel, that they're gonna. Well, one of the wording says is, "You have been warned."
Is that the letter with the 12 that had signed it?
Yeah, I guess there was some letter too, and
Yeah,
it ends with "You have been warned" or something like that. Yeah. So they're really threatening. So leave your hands off of Israel. Don't recognize the genocide and the war crimes that they've been doing. I mean, isn't that incredible? And yet go after Putin for war crimes that he never committed. It makes you wonder, is the deck stacked against some certain people, and somebody dealing from underneath the table for the others? Yeah. But along with Rafah, Israel's also bombing southern Lebanon. They're going with that too. There's some footage of that, but it's done at nighttime, and it's all black, and you just see some flashes and stuff going on. And but I guess Lebanon has been very well. I think they bombed some house in northern Israel, and I guess at least the word that I heard, they injured a lot of Israeli soldiers. So they struck them back. So it's not like Lebanon is completely toothless. Yeah, but they're like I said, they're going to continue bombing there. They'll still drop some occasional bombs on Syria and Damascus. And if in case people don't know, the United States is still occupying a very large part of Syria. 1/3 of Syria, the richest part of Syria, where their oil is and all their best production, their agriculture, everything in the United States claims. They said it belongs to the United States, just in case you don't know. Yeah. And we can hear from Blinken, what the world thinks about all of this stuff. So just so happens when Dave stood up, but there's a video. Yeah, always when Dave gets up. But you'll watch it and he'll show it to you anyway. But it's Blinken, telling the world, the audience, that the world loves the United States controlling the world and being the masters of the universe.
Okay, here we go.
And here is old Blinky Blinken, the failed rock star at the McCain Institute, Mr. John McCain. Isn't he that guy that used to bomb North Vietnam with napalm and things like that, killing children as well too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the McCain Institute.
Okay, here we go.
Here he is.
I think everyone in this room is so representative of this basic idea. What I see and hear around the world, as I have the incredible privilege of helping to represent the country, traveling around, is an ongoing thirst for American engagement and for American leadership. And even the countries that are complaining,
in other words,
about what we're doing in any given moment, or don't like a particular policy, still want us. And
like Africa, like Niger last week, that kicked
there's
you
a
out?
basic choice. We can continue to engage, and we can continue to lead. Or if we don't, we know one of two things is going to happen. Someone else will.
Things will get better.
And probably not in a way that advances our
Yeah.
interests and values. Or maybe just as
Multipolar
bad,
world.
no one will. And then you're almost guaranteed to have a vacuum filled by bad things before it's filled by good things.
And no
that will
sanctions?
ultimately come back to bite us. So as I see it, there's now a greater premium than there's been in the time I've spent in Washington on American leadership. And we have to find ways to come together to assert that.
Gosh, incredible stuff, isn't that? They want us to rule them. The One Ring and rule.
You think he actually believes all that?
That's always been a question in my mind. Is this guy in some kind of a parallel universe? What is this? What is this stuff? I mean, I don't know, because I don't know. And it's like you get like Ursula von der Leyen and Macron and I don't know, Olaf Scholz and all these people kind of going along with this, like they get a script, but then you see what is that called? The majority of the world. What is it? They call it a majority or something. It's just like even the General Assembly of the United Nations. A lot of stuff. That's why they have the Security Council in the U.S. and a lot of the Western people have a veto right, is so that they can refer it to things there, and it's like, like nobody can move. But because if it goes to the General Assembly, the U.S. and their hegemony always gets voted down. Because you got African countries and South American countries. They don't want the United States to lead, which is not leading at all, to control as the masters. Incredible crap.
Biggest terrorist state.
Yes. But Israel, of course, likes it. And because they can do certain things. And here we have, I think that's next, isn't it? Is it one?
This one?
Yeah, look at what Israel can do. Look at the fun they have when the United States is in control. This is an aid convoy. I mean, this makes you really wonder. This is food. This is food for starving people in Gaza. And it makes you really wonder, how do they get people to get such an ideology in their head to destroy the food? If you notice in this video, you'll even see that they flattened, they probably jammed spikes into the tires of the truck, so the trucks can't even move, and they just destroyed all of the food in there. And was I out of focus there, huh? Oh no, you're gonna see my blemishes. Anyway, maybe I'm moving around. But anyway, yeah, you can see how much fun they're having and laughing and all that of destroying the food that is destined for these starving people.
Okay.
Probably medicines, things like that in there too.
נראה עם שהפסיק לספור את המערכת, הפסיק להיות חוקי וטוב. חונג'ר כולו, רבותיי, כולו קרוע. איזה יופי, עם ישראל חי. טוב, חבר'ה, פה הכניסו לו סוכר לתוך המנוע. פינצ'רו גם לא את הגלגל. וואי וואי, מה שהולך.
Is that sugar in the petrol tank?
That's what it was, huh? Putting sugar in their gas tanks. Look at maybe on all of them.
מספר 13. מה קרה לה? מה שפכו עליה? אוי, סיוע המוניטרי, אוי ואבוי על הרצפה. אוי, באמת. ככה על המשאית?
Smash the headlights.
לא יפה, אני מוחה. ממש מוחה. וגם פה ארגזים. אוי ואבוי. אוי ואבוי.
Look at the tires. It looks like they smashed them or something, or cut them.
בוא נבדוק אם זה קשה. מה, יש פה סבון? קח לבית.
Probably taking that one home.
המדינה שרוצה להשמיד אותנו.
Nice people.
יאללה, ניקח זה לבית, לא צריך פשוט. עוד יש לנו פה.
Yeah, yeah. What the world is coming to. That's in the West mostly, you know. That we could have used that for a video of things you don't see in Belarus. They don't do that kind of crap here, you know. I don't even think the opposition, you know, even with the agent provocateurs, I don't know. Maybe they do that stuff. I wasn't here in 2020. Seems like it got pretty bad there. A lot of those people were paid and trained by the West, of course, that are doing that stuff here when it happened in Belarus. But in the general time period, nothing like that ever happens here in Belarus. Yeah. So, yes. Yeah. Palestinians, after everything, you know, they lost everything, you know, destroyed by U.S. bombs, given to Israel free of charge. Oh, but trust me, the U.S. government is outraged. They're outraged on that. And that's when we, you know, you see what's going on also in Berlin. Here's how the German government is compassionate to the protesters, you know, that don't like what's going on in Palestine. Nice guys. They're trying to hug them, throwing them on the ground. Peaceful protesters. They should have said they're BLM or LGBT, and they probably would have. I think they would give them pillows and things like that if they were LGBT, you know, or condoms at least, you know. Yeah. Also, but remember, George Soros is actually even funding this. You know, he's funding what's going on in Georgia. We'll show, you know, that, and then he funds actually, or was funding to kick this off of what's going on in Ukraine right now. You know, all the killing there. You know, and it makes me wonder. You know, don't these guys at odds with each other? You know, the what do you call them? The globalists. But you always have to remember, I think I mentioned it before, that he was born Jewish, but George Soros, by his actions, he shows that he hates Jews. And he doesn't even believe in God. I've seen interviews and he said that.
Didn't he say he's God? He's got a God complex?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't watch videos about this guy, but I watched one, you know, just basically because they said that's what he said in there, that he doesn't believe in God and all that sort of stuff. You know, and I'm hearing people say, "Oh, he's a Jew. He's a Jew." People that don't like Jews and think Jews are always out. You know, you have to distinguish between these Zionist Jews that are doing this crap, and then there's a lot of other Jews that are like us, and they sympathize with all the rest of humanity, and they're our brothers and they're our sisters. You know, so don't be lumping them all into one category from the bad ones, you know. So we have some New York pro-Palestine protests, and here they are. Look at, he loves this boy. He's hugging him. I mean, it looks like that, you know. It makes me wonder. He's like he's hugging the guy. The guy's got his arms outstretched, the protester, like, I'm not doing anything to you. And what's this policeman doing? Kissing him or hugging him or? Even Donald Trump is saying, "Oh, they're destroying property and hurting Jews and things." And probably half of these people are Jews. You know, like I said, just because they're Jewish doesn't mean they hate Palestine. Most of the Jews don't hate Palestine or Palestinians, especially in New York. Even all the BS you can hear in the mainstream media. Oh, it's Jews and anti-Semites fighting each other. BS. Just like black, when they had the riots in Ferguson, Missouri, remember? They said it was black on white people, and then they even were interviewing, and it was it was about police brutality. It has nothing to do with black against white. And then that's, that was the beginning of the BLM. And then they realized they had to create a scenario to make it look like it's racial violence against one race and the other. It's terrible. All created BS.
Guys, like I said, share this shit, because NYPD is always the ones to come in and cause violence, cause chaos.
Not just New York Police Department. Yeah, incredible. And
Alistair Crook said on Judging Freedom, he said there was an agreement with all the countries that they were going to be really hard on the protesters.
I believe it. They had this agreement to it. I think it was from somebody who used to work at the World Health Organization. And I have to be careful, we're on YouTube, but that a lot of that stuff was all scripted amongst all of, to include YouTube and lots of other things, exactly what they're going to be saying. I mean, we know that now. What the official story is going to be. And Tucker Carlson has even shown on his show, even when he was on Fox News, that they have a line, and a lot of time they even use the same words, and they have 100 stations all across America using the same words, the identical words, because it's a script, of what it's incredible. It's like we create the paradigm that you will live in, and it is a paradigm. It's a paradigm. It's just, they're creating paradigms for everybody to live in, and it's not a truthful world. It's just a fake world. Like, they'll tell you what is true and what's not true, what to believe and what not to believe. It's just amazing. It's just amazing, and it has me spellbound. Like to hate Belarus and to hate Russians. That's not working as well as I guess they want to, but some people, it's working on some people.
That's where we come in, tell people the truth.
Yeah,
what it's like here.
Yeah. I mean, people that watch this show, and there's apparently not enough watching the show, but they know this stuff. That's why they should also be trying to spread this around, and show people, But a lot of people, they don't want to hear it. That's what I mean. They create a paradigm. People, they feel safe in this paradigm because everything makes sense. In the West, they make it all make sense. Russia bad, Belarus bad, these people good. All this kind of, I don't know, a paradigm. And when you try to upset their paradigm by trying to say that actually is not the way it is in Belarus, get away from me, I don't want to believe this stuff, That I'll tell you what, even the Belarusian people, it as well as I do. A lot of them, they've had a paradigm created, and it's not like what's going on here or nothing, but they have a paradigm thinking that everything is so much better in the West, that it's safer, that you can walk, like in Belarus, walk the streets at night, that nobody's going to get raped or mugged or stabbed or things. Send your kids to school. They're not going to get your kids into a sex change without even
leave stuff in the car, come back, still there.
Yeah.
Drop your wallet, like Boober said. Remember, he dropped his wallet in McDonald's or wherever it was, and then came back a few hours later, still in the same place.
Yeah, even the people at work. I've worked in places. I don't know how many people we have working in the zoo, but it's like the lockers don't work that well. You can break into those lockers, but nobody is doing that. There's no thieves. And I'm always thinking, because there's always a thief in America. Somebody's stealing something.
Yeah, and then the apartments as well. On each floor, there's bicycles, and all sorts of stuff.
No locks on them.
Next to the elevator, no locks. Everything's just sitting there. No one steals anything.
Yeah, and I'm just starting to thinking, and to me, it's perplexing. It says, you mean isn't there thieves in here? Even I worked in a prison, and and there was a guy. He would go and look in other people's lunches, and if he saw something he liked, he would take some of it, like some cookies or something like that. Somebody got pissed off. They made a cake or something, some cakes and some pieces in there, and they put X-Lax in there, and I guess he couldn't get it off of the toilet or something like that. And so then they told me, yeah, go ask him or something, how he liked those brownies or something, like a couple when he was working in such a place or whatever. yeah, who did that, man? He was telling me he was crapping for weeks or something.
Look at this area around here, right? So we've been coming here, 9-10 months or so. Tennis courts still got the original nets on them. They're not damaged, they're not broken. There's no graffiti anywhere. The basketball courts still got the hoop nets.
Yeah,
everything's nice.
Yeah, Dave.
Nothing damaged.
Yeah, Dave has a lot of work to catch up on in his businesses. So I think, well, I told him, I said, well, I'm going to go take a little. I'm going to walk. Take my time getting here. And I took a detour. I went somewhere else, and it was just surprising. And it's like I can't believe this, because you said there's playgrounds and there's fathers with their kids, and people, the children playing, and everything's in good shape, and it's like, gosh, what kind of world is this? I mean, in America, and even in Germany, you don't see this, everything's beat up, and yeah, and you don't see, families out and doing this sort of thing. And it's like, it's almost like worth crying. And you say, well, what, the West doesn't have this anymore.
Yeah, the fake president on X the other day posted a something of, it was Lithuania or Estonia, like during the Soviet times. Look like grey and dark, and said, now look at it, it's all nice. And I found a similar photo in the 60s in England. I said, look, dark and grey, and now it's different. See?
Yeah, you can get a photo to show. I tell you what, Minsk in the wintertime is kind of dull and it's gray, but it's just like England or most places, even in Germany, they say that. I mean, it's like, because the weather
exactly
up here in the northern hemisphere in these areas, it's like sometimes you don't see the sun for quite a while. But I tell you what, in the winter in Belarus, when it is sunny, oh, it's so beautiful. When there's snow and things like that, it's just like a fairy tale land and all that. But otherwise, gray and all that. But it's just like that most everywhere, I guess. I tell you, I was in Boston and all that too in the winter once, and all that. In Seattle, half the year it's like that too.
Alaska,
it's not super cold.
Alaska,
in Seattle,
the winter's really long there.
Yeah, but you have a lot of nature there. And it's still nice. You see the nice. I mean, sure, in Washington State as well, but beautiful forests and things like that. But I think
it always dark in Alaska.
It's a lot of dark. It's lots of drizzly rain all the time in Seattle, and even in the summertime, a lot.
One day of the week, which is it? It's in December. The sun just peeks over slowly for an hour and then goes back down.
Oh yeah,
it's like, oh, there it is. Everybody comes out to watch it. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
There it is. That's kind of
good. Look, there it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. That's how it is over there.
Nice people in Alaska.
Hmm?
Nice people in Alaska.
Yeah, I tell you.
Everybody gets away from the US, apparently.
Yeah, that is one place. And I saw some movie and it was filmed in Alaska. I said, oh man, that looks so cool. Mountains.
You know how I saw it on that TV show, Northern Exposure?
Yeah, you know where that was filmed, right?
Where?
It was filmed in Washington State.
Yeah. And I thought,
in Monroe. I used to live right by there.
Yeah, I thought that looks nice. And then we went there for a few years.
You mean in the Washington State or
Alaska?
Alaska?
Yeah, in Anchorage. Yeah, lived there.
Yeah, but it's near a town. It's kind of by Index beyond Monroe. I lived in Monroe for a short time, and the next town is called Index. And it's by like the foot of the mountains, and there's, I think it's also, I think it's on a different road, but in as far as the crow flies, it's not far from where they made that. There was a series that was really famous. The guy that's in Dune, he's in that series. You probably, I can't remember the name now, because I didn't.
What's it about?
It's, I think, about some guy that goes in to investigate a murder of a young lady, and then he gets caught up, and there's one guy. One of the guys was kind of like crazy, and he says, "Dearsy dotes and dozy dotes and little dozy ivy," and he says that a lot of time in this. It was a series, and the the guy who plays Paul in Dune was in that series. Twin Peaks.
Oh, Twin Peaks.
Yeah, that was filmed kind of in that area. It was near Snoqualmie Falls.
The latest True Detective was in Alaska too.
True Detective. I don't know those.
Yeah, well, this one had Jodie Foster in it. They have different actors all the time.
Yeah, but a lot of time it's they say Alaska and it's not. There was a Kevin Costner movie, Wyatt Earp, and he plays a little part. I think he's still alive, and he goes to I think he's left Arizona or something, and he's supposed to be in Alaska.
Yeah, he was there for a while.
Yeah, in real life he was,
Yeah,
but then the movie where they filmed it was also Washington State. It's where I used to live, right by where I used to live. He's sitting on a boat or something like that. It's near an Indian reservation, or it's near Clallam Bay, Washington, on the Olympic Peninsula. And
how long were you in Alaska for?
I was only there one time for 3 months, and then I was only there for a couple, maybe 3 weeks on another time when I was fishing on a boat. First, I worked in a cannery and did some, processing of king crab and halibut, and
yum.
I loved halibut too. It's
they sell it here. It's nice.
Yeah, and I tell you what, but in Washington State even they had like big red snapper, and that was fantastic too. A lot of good fresh fish. I don't eat fish really because I like it so much when it's fresh. I love it, and you can't really get some of this good fish fresh. So I don't eat fish unless I was in Alaska or Washington State or something. Then I'd be eating some fish. It's very strange about me, isn't it? It's like bread. I love fresh bread, and I can eat a loaf of bread. But you go to like a thing and you get it off a shelf or something where it's not really a bakery. I don't want it. I don't need it.
Fair enough.
I'm a weird guy, I guess.
I don't like those preservatives.
Now we gotten so far off on the news. We're
talking about food.
Yeah, rattling this stuff off to everybody, and they want to hear the news, not about our personal lives. We're to the point now, we're talking about, anyway, in our news, about this control, and these, like, in what's going on about Palestine and Israel and all that. But we have, we showed already these, right?
No, we showed the first one, not this one.
Okay, this is the second one, and then we'll... Where's my sign? I can't move my finger. Free Palestine.
Police Department. You are unlawfully walking in the roadway. I am ordering you to go back on the sidewalk now. If you do so voluntarily, no charges will be placed against you.
Get back on the sidewalk. Yeah. Well, George Soros was at least funding something worthwhile instead of wars and migration to destroy countries and stuff like that.
Yeah, but why is he funding it?
That's the deal. Yeah, I don't understand it either. And I don't know, maybe they caused it, and then I don't know. It's perplexing. Yes, but we have, the guy that's at least the vampire-ish type of Nazi-ish type of guy, that's behind a lot of this stuff. We can hear what he said in the 1980s. And here is Benjamin Netanyahu talking about, I don't know. Listen to how he talks about his influence with America here. We don't have America with us. USA is not a unified bloc, he says. We have the Senate, Congress, and a record strong Jewish lobby on our side, the AIPAC, of course. We have a strong influence over the general support in America. Of course, they control the media. They have a lot of control in Hollywood as well, not mentioned here. America won't force us into anything, he says. Remember that for what's going on right now. And he says it's basically the same thing. And I've heard a lot of other prime ministers of Israel saying that, a lot of them kind of come out and admit it. We control America. They don't control us. So, because I I think we said one time somebody asked an Israeli official once, well, how come you don't become the 51st state? And the person said, well, look at this. Every state in America gets 2 senators. And right now, Israel has 40. So why would he want to become a state?
Fair enough.
Yes. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, but a lot of time they control the president too, not just the 2 houses of Congress, and a lot of influence in the Supreme Court also. It's just the influence that Israel has in America is frightening. It's just frightening. Media, everything. And you were talking about Epstein too. So hear that? That's the bell. Yeah. We mentioned, I think in the last show, says to know who controls you, ask who you are now not allowed to criticize. You know, any criticism of Israel by many in the government, a government entity, is a show. It's going to end your career. It's going to end your entity. You're going to, like Cynthia McKinney, like I said, will tell you. Yeah, and we'll see that old. Well, unfortunately, we didn't show that one video. We'll show it when we go to Rumble. But you see Joe Biden talking from both sides of his mouth. Israel better stop this and stop that and all that. But yet we give our full support to Israel, and we'll let them get away with anything, basically, is what he says. Yes, and we have another. This one here. This guy, this is a U.S. congressman. And, you know, you look at this guy, he doesn't have legs. I don't know how he lost his legs. I have no idea. It's not said here. His name is Brian Mast. I don't know the guy. And he wears short pants, apparently, to show everybody's wearing long pants, of course. This is a politician. And he wears short pants, probably to get everybody to garner sympathy for him for the fact that he doesn't have legs and he's walking with, you know, probably incredibly expensive prosthetics. And, but, you know, me to be talking about that, you have to hear what this guy's all about. Listen to what he says. Listen to how hateful this person is. I mean, this guy makes you sick.
Hamas has agreed to a ceasefire. Do you think Israel should agree?
I think Israel should go in there and kick the shit out of them. Just absolutely destroy them, their infrastructure, level anything that they touch. Fair enough?
Congressman, the
Basically
world is
destroy.
calling for a ceasefire. You used to say Hamas won't agree to a ceasefire. Hamas had just agreed. It was a proposal put forward by Egypt, Qatar. You know, CIA Director William Burns has been there negotiating.
You know what? If there's an American held or somebody else being held, there should be every expectation that Americans come and kill them as well. If there's an American being held, we should go kill the people that are holding them.
Why are you so hateful?
It's not hateful.
It is, because my
not
people
hateful.
are Palestinian.
Go kill
You're
'em.
killing my people with our tax dollars. And you
Killing
saying
children,
that
killing
everything should
innocent people.
Associate
Associate themselves with terrorists.
Israel is the
They were
terrorist.
born there.
Israel is the terrorist.
Lions Den, Fatah, all those terrorist
We
organizations.
say to you
that are
every
part of the
single
Palestinian
time,
people.
majority of people are children. They're the ones that are bearing the brunt
Just
of
because you
this.
say it doesn't
Oh.
make it true.
You don't
Which is
believe
what you
that
constantly.
it's children?
Let me say this very clearly. I literally don't believe a word that you say.
Well, I think
Oh, that
you
makes
are
it
a heartless,
convenient to
soulless
kill
fool
children.
man. And today is Holocaust
From
Remembrance
you,
Day
I'll
for
take it
my
as a
people,
compliment.
Jewish people. And I am
Soulless
saying
man.
as a Jew, we said never again. and
She's
it's
a Jew.
happening now. We say
You are so hateful and disgusting. It's a shame. You are a crime against humanity.
Jeez. So a Jew and a Palestinian talking this guy about a ceasefire, and you know, and he basically wants to kill everybody there. That's incredible. This is a U.S. congressman. I mean, incredible. You know. Yeah. I don't know. I can't even. I don't know that guy there. If he were my congressman, I would be going talking crap to him too, you know. I'd give him too much crap. I'd probably go too far. Yes. So if we switched off from get out of Palestine and Israel, I was mentioning. I even have the proud. Dave should remember this. I was talking about this before it even went into the news.
Mhm.
You know, they made a discovery, a discovery of a large amount of oil in Guyana in the past.
South America.
Yeah.
For those that don't know where it is.
Yeah, Guyana.
Next to Venezuela.
Yeah, Suriname. That's kind of a neighbor there. You know, that's one that a lot of people, you know, would wonder, where is Suriname at? You know, and that's kind of a country that has big problems. Guyana is a really wild country. It's probably more wild than most all of Africa. You can't even access most of that country unless you go by airplane. There's no roads and things, and it's very, and I think they have anacondas in the rivers and things. Guyana is a real wild place. I mean, wild as in, you know, forests and things, you know, probably where no humans have ever been. But anyhow, they discovered oil in a part of Guyana, which makes up 2/3 of the country. 2/3 of the country. And apparently there was kind of a little bit of dispute.
I'm surprised the US hasn't invaded yet.
Yeah. Well, they kind of have.
Yeah.
So that's the video that we're gonna show you. And I was telling Dave, I said, you know, it's very strange because they, you know, and I'll tell you what, you're talking about, like everybody's talking about, oh, we've had so and so much growth. Germany is a negative growth this year, you know, their economy, and Russia has a surprising, you know, like 3% growth. And, you know, if you have over 2%, that's considered great. Guyana, I think it was last year, was having 34% growth. China, in their biggest years, I think the biggest year they had was 13%. Guyana has 34% economic growth, you know, based on the fact that they found this oil.
They're probably starting at a low baseline, though.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know what it is right now, but it was like huge, you know. And lo and behold, Venezuela says that's our land. You know, it's 2/3 of the country of Guyana. I like Venezuela, and I like what they stand for and all that sort of thing. And they had kind of an agreement, and of course it was signed in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where I used to live. You know, and the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and he's got some good and he's got some bad things.
Is that the safest place in the world?
It's actually the second most dangerous country on earth. Is St. Vincent. You know, a lot of murders and things there, a lot of crime. And
you made it out.
You know, that's one of the bad things about the Prime Minister. He doesn't do some things very good at all. And that's, you know, there are a lot of bad things about him, I guess I should say. And, but anyway, that's where the agreement was signed. And he's buddies with Maduro, and he was with Chavez. And, you know, he's part of the, you know, the Petro-Carib agreement, you know, and you get gas, like petro stuff very cheap there. But anyway, there was a peace agreement there, and I think both of them agreed, signed it, was Guyana and Venezuela, and things were going good. But, you know, the United States, apparently, if you listen to Maduro here, they decided they want to be kind of involved in helping Guyana, you know, because it's kind of easy pickings and it still needs to be developed and things like that. So that's why they chose the side of Guyana, and Maduro is just too stubborn, so they can manipulate Guyana, and that's exactly what they're doing. And I don't know, Maduro doesn't quite go into that part here, but he's alluding to the fact that the United States is behind this, there's going to be a confrontation possibly between Guyana and backed by the United States and against Venezuela. So here it is. The threat that Guyana represents to us, because Guyana has become the epicenter of the biggest threat to the peace of South America and Venezuela. There are 12 bases of the CIA, 14 secret bases of the South, already in this moment in the territory of Guyana. The evidence will show over time, it already exists as they prepared Ukraine against Russia. They have prepared Guyana for this, underestimating us. They don't know what we are capable of doing in the face of threats and anything that may arise. Strange grammar. Yes, so you know, and like since I lived in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's way down there. It's right near. It's not too far from Venezuela, and as you know, Venezuela is a long way away from the United States. Um, and the United States built a Coast Guard base on one of, well, nearly one of the most southern islands of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's like, that's pretty far away from the U.S. coast. And it's used to send drones. And guess who they're spying on? Venezuela.
So the U.S. Coast Guard now has a coast all the way down South America.
Yeah, the U.S. coast. It's, first you got all these countries in between, and then all of a sudden the U.S. coast is there again, all the way down there. And they used to come. The United States used to come.
I suppose it's like Alaska, Canada in between.
Yeah, but there's a lot more countries, and a lot of small countries, between the United States and
Mexico, Panama.
Yeah, well, let's see. I don't know, Cuba and what's that? I'm forgetting my. When the camera comes on, my memory's gone. But anyway, there's a lot of countries that are on the way. There's even like the Dutch West Indies, all that stuff's in between. But then all of a sudden, the U.S. coast appears again. But St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it was kind of popular in the old days. We're talking like 80s and stuff. A book written by John Pilger, an Australian, I think, and I believe, yeah. And anyway, he got the Pulitzer Prize. But this book, one I read a long time ago, is called Hidden Agendas. And he mentions in there that the United States, maybe I'm adding some of this because I got other information from other places. I'm not quite so sure, but anyway, the United States used to go to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, maybe certain times of the year, and with like helicopters with flamethrowers, and they used to burn the marijuana fields. And it's not because of the war on drugs. It's more like a war for drugs. The United States used to be involved in some illegal kind of things, growing and producing things in South America, and the stuff from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which has very rich volcanic soils, used to compete with the United States products. So they used to destroy the stuff from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines so that their pricing and their sales would be up. Though maybe you can say it's a war for drugs. But anyway,
it's very like the mafia, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of stuff that went through the Caribbean.
The US I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Just like, who was it? Garland Nixon said. And, they used to, we just were talking about Israel, and there used to be a weapons trade, and it used to go through the Caribbean as well. I'm not quite sure which islands, but they used to shuffle, between South America. And I think that was the days of Oliver North and all that kind of stuff.
The Contras.
Yeah. I guess it was for South America. So and it was Israel.
Nicaragua, wasn't it? The Contras.
Yeah, well, South America, Central America is actually what it is. But I think it used to be funneled through there. And Israel was one of the, on one end of it, and probably the Contras and all that were on the other end. And it used to go through the Caribbean islands that way. So a lot of this stuff that you never hear about anywhere, and this stuff is going on every day, everywhere. And it's just like what's going on in Syria right now. In the United States, Al-Tanf, they're based there, and the United States has, believe it or not, I guess we're allowed to say this on YouTube, the United States has terrorist base in Syria. There's 2 of them near Al-Tanf, and they train terrorists there, and it's off of the base of the U.S. base so that they can, it doesn't look like the United States is actually training these terrorists, whatever you want to call them, Al-Qaeda, Al-Nusra, Daesh, or whatever.
Special K?
Yeah, Special K, the Special K, not the breakfast, but, what was that? What is that called? Al-Qaeda? No, ISIS K, right?
ISIS K, yeah, Special K.
Yeah, but anyway, you guys are getting the gist of how this world works by watching this show, of course. Yeah, and Dave and I used to, in our past, work with the United States military. I was in an intelligence battalion, and I also was on, I worked for the commanding general of U.S. forces in Europe. And we're privileged to a lot of information and kind of know how things work. Just so you know, we do have some credentials. I met some very influential people and back in those days, as well as Dave did, and so we're just not talking out of our backsides, right? Yeah, because it would smell bad if we did. Okay, anything else? Where were we? Where were we at? Okay, we showed those protests. We showed Netanyahu and all that. We showed the crazy congressman, and we're talking about Guyana. And yeah, the world is, tensions are building, I guess. What was the name of the title?
Tensions rising.
Tensions rising, even down there. And not only that, we have now Nicole Pashinyan. And you guys, if you've been watching the show and even watching some news, you're seeing the United States is cozying up to Armenia. They have been for quite some time, and tensions, there's Azerbaijan, Russia, Armenia, kind of things going on. And then, of course, you got even Iran to the south. Nothing has happened quite there yet. Iran hasn't been messing, But anyway, a lot of this tension could happen. But the prime minister of Armenia, the head of state, has just arrived in Moscow today for the Eurasian Economic Union Council meeting. He will also meet with Vladimir Putin. So isn't that incredible? So you might see something switching back. It makes you wonder if the guy's had a change of heart for some reason. This is going to be interesting to find out. We might hear about this in the news in the next weeks. So here he is, landing in Moscow. I think it's a Boeing that made it. Just wondering if a door would fly off or something.
Another Boeing had a problem today. I'll play the video later.
Yeah. Yeah, their quality control is...
Quality.
Yeah. So he doesn't look pissed off or nothing. He looks kind of hopeful. It's going to be interesting to find out. Like I said, he's meeting with Putin. Yes, and in another former Soviet country, Georgia, Georgian intelligence, not Georgia, Cynthia McKinney and Jimmy Carter, the other Georgia, Republic of Georgia, the intel reported that foreign agents are responsible for financing provocations at protests in Georgia. And they have found that Georgians...
Shocking.
Yeah. Georgians abroad, believe it or not, they're getting... I'll tell you what. So somebody has to fund this because the Georgians abroad are planning to return and engage in violent actions against the police in Georgia. Well, there we have Soros on that side, and USAID. That's one of the agencies that are funding this stuff. And yeah, getting these people in. So yeah, that's just...
So what's the EU doing? They're threatening him to suspend Georgia's candidacy for the EU.
What does it say? I regret the situation in Georgia has come to this. Georgian dreams, anti-European crackdown leaves us no choice. We got to crack some heads. If the parliament adopts the Russian law, even though the United States is the one that actually started this law, I believe.
And the EU's got the same law.
Yeah, and the AEU, and they call it the Russian law in order to make people...
And this Georgian one is almost an exact copy of the US law.
Yeah, and it actually helps the country. The law that these people are protesting, if they were successful and they drop this law, it invites spies and saboteurs into their country, by other foreign countries whenever they want to. All it is it protects the country, no matter who's the government. So anyway, the Russian law, the EU will be compelled to suspend Georgia's candidacy. Isn't that incredible? The EU has that law, and the EU will suspend this country if they have the same law that the EU has. Wow. You can't really make this stuff up, and it's kind of like...
So if they join the EU, then they'll come under that law anyway. If Georgia joins, then they'll come under the same EU law.
I don't know if it's an EU law or if the majority of the countries have that law.
Well, I thought it was an EU law.
Well, in another thing is if they come under the EU, then they come under the control of the EU.
Yeah.
So maybe the whole thing is to try not to get into the EU. I tell you what, Georgia is another place. You get, depending on what the politicians are there, is it going to be pro-Russian, anti-Russian? Now, Russians love Georgia. They love Georgian food. They love going there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It must be that there's a lot of people, just like Moldova, a lot of people are sympathetic to Russia. So that maybe it's kind of going, we'll see. But it's not like for example, Milei in Argentina, who, I think a lot of the people wanted to be part of BRICS and all that. And this is like one guy or his party seems to have taken over the whole country, and nobody likes him. The protests are in the millions. Millions of people are protesting this. Really makes you wonder if Argentina can be successful and oust this knucklehead. Yeah. And now we have a video of the British Defense Minister Chaps. I don't know how do you say his name? Chaps or Chaps?
Chaps.
He came in after you left there, so he maybe Chaps.
Well, he was in before doing stuff.
Good chap, a jolly old good chap. So here is Chaps or Chaps, and he's admitting, this accusation that they had against China hacking the Ministry of Defense and getting, and even though nothing was really happening, but they said it was hacked. And
before we do that,
China did it.
Yeah, before they do that, Argentina's just released a new note, money.
Oh, let's hear how much is it?
10,000.
A 10,000.
Yeah, but I think it's only worth like a couple of dollars or something.
Yeah.
This one.
It's like Italy in the old days, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've got one of those Zimbabwe $1 billion one.
You have one?
Hmm.
I tell you what, I was trying to get one. I thought I could get one.
You didn't have $1 billion?
Yeah. I didn't have it. I saw it in a place.
You know who you're looking at now? A billionaire. Me.
Yeah, you're a billionaire.
I'm a billionaire.
Well, I tell you what, I want. That's why I wanted a Zimbabwe to tell it, because it's dollars. Yeah. And I was going to say I have over $1 million.
$1 billion.
Somebody did that to me already. They said, "Yeah, I got $1 million. I can show it to you right now."
Yeah, we had a competition in the radio station.
See the richest ones?
We said no. We said we were going to give $1 billion away.
You did.
Yeah, we gave $1 billion away.
Okay.
No other company does that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, they were charging, I can't remember, 17 euros or something for and it was only like 50,000 Zimbabwe dollars. I said, man, I don't want to pay 17 euros. And can you imagine, if they had to print so many, there must be millions and millions of these bills all over. So the more you have in existence, the lower the price should be. And here they're trying
I think you could even buy a toilet roll with it at the time.
Yeah, you'd need a whole wheelbarrow to get a loaf of bread. But I was in in that Russian class, before. I took 3 months, unfortunately, only. But anyway, so I think some students that were from Zimbabwe, and I asked them, and they said they would, but that was not in my class. Unfortunately, it was in a different class. Otherwise, I would have kept hounding them and saying, can you get me
you probably get one. Let me look while you're talking. I think you get one on eBay. So.
Well,
Let's have a look.
Whatever the price is, it's overpriced, but I would pay it,
Someone else asked me the other day.
I would pay €1 or something for one.
Someone else asked me the other day if I had a spare one as well. A guy in Sweden.
Yeah.
Where's eBay here?
One of your first business ventures when you were selling Batman stuff, you could open up a business venture selling millions of dollars to people.
Billions of dollars.
Billions, yeah. Yeah. Well, you used to work in Africa too, right?
There we go. You can get one for £3.99.
£3. What is that in euros? 4 maybe?
No. Yeah, probably 450 or something like that.
And what is it? A 1 million bill?
Oh, it's a $50 billion bill.
50 billions.
Oh,
that's even better.
Yeah.
Can you actually? Yeah, we can maybe try to. But it's from England, right? You got to pay customs duty.
Imagine paying custom duty on 50 billion. It's like,
oh my God!
Hang on, I'll get a photo of it. Give me a second.
Just think when they ask you to customs. Do you have any dollars? Are you bringing in any dollars? I'll say
Come across the border. Yeah, I've only got 50 billion in my pocket.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, so you have a lot of fun if you can get some of these bills, you know.
Yeah.
Pulling things on people and all that. Like you said, you gave away $1 billion once.
Yeah, it's a bad picture, but let's have a look. There you go. There's a $50 billion.
Oh wow! I think I might have seen. I've seen pictures like this. Maybe they use the same 3 rocks or something on the.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of that. Oh.
Didn't they just start a gold-backed money? Zimbabwe? I think they did.
Wow! Just think. I tell you what. If you know, I'll tell you what. If your economy gets screwed up so bad, I guess that's not a bad move. I guess believe.
Yeah. I'll just see if I can get a better picture.
Yeah, it was.
So there you go. You can get 50 billion. I was only a single billionaire.
Maybe we should start doing that here on this show.
Well,
yeah, giving away billions
of dollars.
We can maybe get a hold of some of the. No, then it would be in rubles. And then Russia has I don't know this. They have this really weird thing too. Like,
yeah, we can get some of these and then send them from. We give away.
Yeah. But I was thinking about like the old Belarusian. Somebody gave me 500.
The 1,000th person that views on the show will get a $50 billion from us.
Yeah, I think a guy in Brest Fortress, believe it or not, who had a kiosk. I think he gave me 50 or 500 Belarusian rubles, but it was from the old stuff. And it had on the bill it had the Fortress of Brest on there. So, and it was really nice. It makes you wonder, because maybe he doesn't see any Americans. I guess he was, you know, sometimes being an American, you know, it kind of tickles people's fancy a little bit or something, especially over here. You know, not many of them running around in Belarus. Not many of us. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's a better picture.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
$50
billion. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm a $50 billion heir.
Yeah. Put an advert. Tune in on Sunday. We'll give away $50 billion.
Yeah. Yeah. And say, we promise.
To the best caller.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we have I think it was a photo of I don't even know what I put on this photo. Anti-Europe.
This photo?
No. Maybe I didn't put that one. Anti-Europe. Maybe I didn't put it up there. Maybe I just wrote it down here.
Yeah, no, anti-Europe.
Oh, wait, yeah. Oh, that was supposed to be before Schnapps. Oh, we didn't even show Schnapps yet, did we?
No.
Here we're talking. You look at you get me all distracted like this.
Yeah, you were
talking about your 50 billion.
You were getting greedy.
I guess that was me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're about to start ordering your yacht.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg's just bought a yacht.
Sucker.
Yeah.
He actually looks kind of handsome now, I said, with that beard. He doesn't look like some goofy little kid like Dennis the Menace.
Bought a yacht running on oil.
On oil, not electric, huh?
Yeah.
Might blow up.
Okay, let's listen to the Mr. Schnapps.
Yeah.
Of national security, we can't release further details of the suspected cyber activity.
We can't release this
behind this incident. However,
we can't show you evidence.
I can confirm to the House that we do have indications.
Indications.
That this was the suspected work.
This was an indication of the suspected work. How definite does that sound to you?
Which is highly likely.
Yeah, and we can't show you the evidence. In other words, this is a whole bunch of bullshit. You just got to listen to the language, you know.
Actor, and we cannot rule out state involvement.
We can't rule it out.
This incident is further proof that the UK is facing rising and evolving threats. And as I said,
proof that we're having threats
House in January, the world is, I'm afraid, becoming somewhat more dangerous.
In other words, he has proof. Listen to all that language, basically saying we don't have any evidence whatsoever. We don't know what the heck happened, but somehow somebody hacked our thing, you know. that's probably why you didn't mention China, because they don't. My God, it's just incredible. I mean, if you just listen, you got to listen to how these guys are, tricking us. These politicians. I mean, that is really tricky stuff. Because if you didn't hear, my commentary after every word this guy's saying, we have indications of suspecting this, but we can't show it to you. It's just like this black box. Russia shot down that airplane, and they have the black box, but we can't show it to you, to prove that Russia did it. That's proof that, like you just, I mean, my God, I mean, it's like everything that you're hearing is just all fake news, everything coming out of the West. I mean, and just think of the things that you don't catch, the little things, and they never show you any proof. They never, ever show you any proof. They don't show you any documentation or anything. And we were just talking, I think, last week about George Galloway. They called him to the Senate, saying he was a business partner of Saddam Hussein back in those old days. And he just wiped the floor with the Senate. You can still find that on YouTube, and
I didn't think he was going to turn up.
Yeah, they thought he wasn't going to turn up, and that makes him guilty and all this. And then they even had the gall. I think they banned him from going to Canada or something like that. I love George Galloway. He's back in the British Parliament again, and that's fantastic. We have to get him as a guest, maybe. That'd be great. Send him what I just said about him, please, and then maybe he'll say yes.
Okay.
Gosh. Yes, but oh yeah, talking about China. China again. Damn those people. But
you're looking Chinese.
Yeah, with the yellow. Yeah, I said this is my China Day. But we just had that anniversary.
That's cultural appropriation you're doing.
That is it. Oh. Trudeau, he did blackface once. I'm doing yellowface.
Once, twice.
Twice?
Oh, 3 times. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we were talking about the new law that he came up with.
Yeah.
But I'm doing yellowface right now, so that's I don't know. That's just as bad, maybe.
Yes.
But where were we at here? Oh yeah, this is the anniversary. I think it was yesterday was the 7th of May. You remember in the Yugoslavia war, when that was another screwed up war of
another setup
that NATO saved. I don't know. In other words, what they did is they just basically it's not they had just attacked a country, for
again
no good reason whatsoever. And it was on May 7th, 1999, and the U.S. just by accident bombed twice the Chinese embassy. And
twice, not once.
Yeah, one's right after the other. And accidentally the bomb, with precision guided bombs, of course they apologized afterwards after killing,
They always do that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We're sorry.
Like when they bomb a hospital.
We're sorry we killed you.
And they bomb a school and a hospital and things like that, Oh, sometimes these bombs that, strange that Russia's bombs never go astray. And remember when it hit that when they said one hit an apartment building and they showed this all over the place? It turns out that was the Ukrainian bomb trying to shoot down a Russian bomb.
It was an S-300 air defense.
Yeah, and
trying to shoot it down.
And it didn't hit the Russian bomb, so it came as it was coming down, descending. It took off part of an apartment building, and Russia did it.
Ukrainian air defense does that a lot.
Yeah. And it's Russia that did it, though. So, we had a photo. I think they still have that. Yeah, there's a photo of that. I guess it's still not that one.
Not that one.
Maybe I didn't. Hope I put it up there.
Yeah, you did.
I don't. It looks like a recent photo of this this embassy that the U.S. bombed. So, if we look, maybe if that was 1999, what about maybe look at the cars? They look like they're kind of modern cars, so maybe they left it there as a reminder to show how great the United States is to them. I don't know if it's a modern photo. I'm just kind of guessing. So anyway, just to let everybody know. So, that's it. I think that beer, they sell that beer. There's a sign there with a beer, and I think they sell that Zaki Guts, I think. Oh no, Amstel. Oh, it's a Dutch beer. No, or it's a Belgian. I think that's Belgian beer.
I don't know. I don't drink beer.
Yeah, that's a Belgian beer. I'm a beer fan, so I guess they were selling that in Serbia. So we'll jump now to Ukraine. Again, the Kiev government is going against the Jewish man who called Zelensky, or created Zelensky, as well as the Azov battalion. There's a photo of Kolomoisky, and he's in more trouble now. He actually created Zelensky. He funded him, and I guess he's the one that backed him on that, what was it, something of the people, what's the name of that series, if you remember? Anyway, something like where Zelensky played a school teacher and he becomes the leader of Ukraine. And I guess, you know, there's movies, a lot of movies and things about this. So, but anyway, the guy that backed him, who used to be heavy in the media, was this guy, Kolomoisky, and now they've been going after him for a long time. The government that Zelensky controls is going after the guy that created Zelensky. And he had a bank, I guess, this Kolomoisky. But this time, it sounds pretty bad to be actual, you know. It is an accusation of him contracting somebody to commit a murder years ago, where the man was stabbed multiple times in vital organs. You know, they thought he was going to die, and but the guy lived. And apparently, maybe the hit was called by Kolomoisky. At least that's the accusation. But, you know, we'll find out. But we all know, you know, even though Kolomoisky, Jewish, he funded the anti-Jewish Azov battalion, you know, which wear swastikas and all that stuff. But we know that there are no Nazis in Ukraine. I mean, Tucker Carlson even told us that, you know, obviously erroneously, but anyway.
I'm still surprised about that.
Huh? Yeah, that he said that. Well, you know, the thing is, he says he doesn't go to the internet.
He hasn't got a smartphone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. I tell you what, I doubt it. But anyway, apparently his team is doing all this stuff. You can't read newspapers because they're practically non-existent anymore. I don't know. I don't know where he gets his news. Maybe it's all done by other people and they just tell him and he goes from that. I don't know. And then he goes fishing the other night.
Is that so no one can plant stuff on his phone or his computer?
What's that again? No complaint?
No. Maybe he does that so no one can plant stuff on the computer, like child porn or something.
Yeah, well, I guess nobody's accused him of doing anything like that. I guess yet, have they?
No.
You know, and he talks to a lot of attractive young and, you know, attractive women all the time. And I don't think anybody's said, oh, Stormy Daniels on Tucker Carlson or something like that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Trump did something with Stormy Daniels. I have no idea. I don't even follow that stuff.
Who cares?
Yeah, I know. There's something going on right now. And supposedly she was talking about details, and I think the court or something was saying nobody cares about what the details and what you were doing with him or whatever. And I think they're going by what was supposedly the hush money that supposedly he paid her $131,000 or something like that.
Yeah,
but I don't follow this story at all.
Yeah.
No, I just overheard all this stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's kind of interesting, but I'm not going to delve into it. Even though I watched it for 2 hours. Oh, no, just kidding. No, but anyway, we have the video of no Nazis in Ukraine. You know, out of the clips of the many thousands, here are some clips that show you that there are none in Ukraine.
And we don't support this.
Yes.
We're anti.
Germany shows its leadership in the support for Ukraine. Germany is the biggest European contributor of military aid to Ukraine. You just decided to send a third Patriot system to Ukraine. And I strongly believe that other allies should follow the example of Germany.
Yeah, Tucker should watch that anyway.
Yeah, send this to Tucker.
Well, actually, there's much more. They're even having ceremonies, all of them
Well,
holding
every
these
year they have that ceremony for the
at nighttime, right?
For the
torches and
Ukraine's SS division.
Jeez, yeah, look at all this. Isn't this incredible?
Yeah.
But you're not seeing this, people.
How come Tucker doesn't see this?
Yeah. He might be in his own paradigm too, talking about paradigms. And, I think most of the American people don't see this either, only those maybe watching this show. That's not one of the From the Other Side cups on there, was it? No. They just kind of use the same sort of a thing on there. Look at Heil. Oh, and they had children. There's children in saying things like what they said in Germany and all that sort of stuff. So you did this for the music, right?
Yeah, I just cut it off. YouTube doesn't like it. Don't know if they like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're heroes. Look at that. But you didn't see that, FIFA. It's non-existent.
Yeah, I'm still surprised Tucker reckons there's none there.
Yeah, it's like nobody told him. I don't know. I kind of I like Tucker, so don't get me wrong, but I'm wondering if he just is in some kind of denial. I mean, no, it's just like this guy. I don't see that, like that one congressman with no legs, with those braces. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't know if Tucker's doing that. He doesn't seem like that type of person. So I don't know,
Lots of evidence out there.
Yeah. But I don't know. We have Maria Zakharova.
Well, the SMO is to get rid of them, isn't it?
Hmm?
The SMO that Russia's doing is to get rid of them.
Well, I tell you what, it's like this ideology. To me, it's the same one that as Zionists in Israel. I don't see there's that much difference at all. It's just people from one group wanting to kill off people from another group. One is in Ukraine wanting to kill off Russians. One is in Israel wanting to kill off Palestinians. And it's like, I don't know. And I'm like, again, I'm not, people would say, you're an anti-Semite. I'm not an anti-Semite. I just don't like that form of those people. And I don't think those people even believe in God. So they're not even really Jewish. And I think even Jewish people would say they're not even Jewish. I tell you what, I read this book, Not Every Spy a Prince. No, it was By Way of Deception. And it was written by a Mossad officer. And I almost think if I can, this guy, he's even alluding to the fact that these people are not even Jewish. And he tells you about some of the things that they do. And anyway, they want him dead, the guy, at least. I don't know if they still do. Maybe they got him already. Victor, something, I don't know. Anyway, the author of By Way of Deception. So,
your favorite person next?
Yes, I like, I don't know. She always has she's witty. Makes her look even better. So sometimes she looks real good and she's witty. So I like, and
2 for 1.
Yeah. Yeah. So here she is, Maria Zakharova. And she put out some good information here. And it's about EU's rights, I guess. Or Ukrainian rights or whatever. Oh, we have to have some sound.
Yeah.
Oh, you dimmed it because of the
music. That was my fault. Idiot. I'm an idiot. Here we go.
Секретарь Еврокомиссии по внешней политике.
Wait a minute. Can we read it? Oh, let's see. The press secretary of the European Commission on foreign policy, Peter Stano, made a statement about Ukraine's alleged right
to attack the Crimean Bridge
in self-defense, like the bridge attacked us.
Yes.
Or the
bad bridge.
Or the bridge is a weapon.
Bad bridge.
Yeah.
Петр Стана сделал заявление о якобы наличии...
They're really fixated on this bridge, aren't they?
That's what we said last show.
They're just fixated on this bridge.
The whole West, the British are, the Germans are, the Ukrainians are. And I tell you what, it's almost like a sure thing that they're going to be hitting this bridge somehow. And it's kind of like, we got to get that bridge. We got to get it. Oh, I'm going to die if I don't get that bridge. I don't know.
Украины право атаковать Крымский мост в рамках, как было подчеркнуто, самообороны. Вы знаете...
You know, there is simply no other way to call this direct
Oh.
incitement to terrorism.
Ну, другого варианта,
I
как
forgot I
назвать
was reading
это
this, yeah.
уже прямым подстрекательством к терроризму, просто нет. Я более
Moreover, do you want to read it or should I read it?
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Okay, moreover,
Maybe I
will
should do something for a change.
Yeah. You know, like you're running all those switches.
Yeah,
Can you read at the same
I'll
time?
do something else.
He's multi-dexterous. He's
Yes.
he's a multipolar.
Multipolar, yeah. Multipolar world over
Here we
this
go.
side. Moreover, I will say that it is shocking that we are talking about a statement not by a representative of a marginal political party or an extremist movement,
того скажу, что шокирует то, что речь идет о заявлении не представителя, не знаю, там, маргинальной какой-нибудь политической партии или экстремистского движения. Речь идет
We are talking about European official who speaks in principle on behalf of the entire European Union.
о еврочиновнике, который говорит, в принципе, от всего Европейского Союза. Ему это вменено
This is his responsibility.
в обязанности. Недопустимое
Unacceptable statements prove that the European Union is not just a sponsor of the Kiev regime,
высказывания станут доказывать, что Европейский Союз выступает не просто спонсором киевского режима своими заявлениями,
with its statements, it incites Kiev to continue attacking peaceful Russian cities, civilian infrastructure, including hospitals, schools, and shops.
он подстрекает Киев продолжать нападения на мирные российские города, гражданскую инфраструктуру, включая больницы, школы, магазины. Вкупе с поставками
Coupled with the supply of heavy weapons and long-range weapons, the EU openly neglects its own international obligations.
тяжелых вооружений и дальнобойного оружия, ЕСовцы открыто пренебрегают, в том числе собственными международными обязательствами. Недвусмысленно
It unequivocally becomes accomplices in the terrorist activities of the Ukraine neo-Nazis.
становятся соучастниками террористической деятельности украинских неонацистов.
But there are no Nazis.
Пресс-секретарь Еврокомиссии
The press secretary of the European Union on foreign policy. Oh, we're back there again. Sorry.
Oh, that's the beginning, huh?
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
start reading it
Yeah.
again.
Oh,
Yeah.
we can watch her all day long. Not even realize.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's. Well, what comment was I going to say?
You've lost now. She's put you off.
Yes.
You've got all flustered.
Yeah.
Bridge.
Well, that's what it was.
The bridge too far.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say.
Anyway, they're fixated on it.
Yeah, and it's like they're encouraging Ukraine to be doing all this stuff, and it's I don't know. I kind of, well, it doesn't matter. I must not have been that important if I forgot it. So maybe you have to play the video again, and it'll come back to me.
Yeah, come back to you.
She said something there, but that's no big deal. But Kirby, we have Kirby. He's got a solution
This
for
guy?
Russia. Yeah, that guy. He's got a solution for Russia if they do not want troops hit by Western bombs. But I'm wondering if the same solution works for the U.S. If, like, because they're stationed all over the world. So let's listen to what he says.
Honestly, if Mr. Putin and Russian officials are worried about their troops in Ukraine getting hit with weapons from other countries, then the easiest thing to do is just take your troops and leave.
Yeah. The U.S. should show us how that's done by example. Why don't you start pulling your troops out of all the countries that you're occupying? Just take your troops and leave. Like you did in Afghanistan. We did a lousy job of it, but why don't you do that in Syria now?
Everywhere they do a lousy job.
Yeah, and Dubai and all these other places where you got these troops, and Iraq where they're getting hit all the time. Why don't you just get your troops and leave? The difference is, Russia is there to protect people where Ukraine was bombing and killing the innocent civilians, and Russia sent their troops in to protect the people. Can the U.S. say the same thing? They're there to exploit those countries, to get their resources, to control the countries, make them do what they want, to build military bases, get closer to countries like China and Russia, so that they can control them. One ring to bind them all. So, yeah, that's a difference. But don't worry, people, don't worry. Somebody is here to save the day.
Is this the whole army? The photo of the whole army here?
Yeah, this is, I tell you what, they've mobilized
all their army in this
the
photo.
Entire Lithuanian army, and they have a picture
there
of
it
them
is.
right
this
there.
Is the whole army.
Yes, to the rescue.
Yes.
It's been put out that Lithuania is sending troops to Ukraine. But it's a training mission. So the highly experienced, highly trained Lithuanian military is going there to train the Ukrainians who have no experience in war whatsoever or in battle. Wait a minute, is that somehow mixed up?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
back to front.
Yeah, yeah. But in truth, as you all know, I don't know what they're there for. They're not going to get. I don't know. Maybe they're going to get some training for the coming war, and all 46 military people and the entire army of Lithuania will take on Russia. I don't know. This was put out by the Financial Times, by the way, so it's not like some comedy thing that somebody made up, like the Keystone Cops or the Keystone Military or something. Yeah, that's how that is. But we all know also, as far as military support to Ukraine, I believe it was 61 F-16s are supposed to be delivered to Ukraine this year. Supposed to be. Maybe not to Ukraine, but for Ukraine's use. Maybe they're going to be putting them in Poland and Romania and who knows wherever.
Did you know?
Nope.
Here we go.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah, for every 1 hour of use of the Abrams, they're going to do 8 hours of maintenance. Oh. And for every couple of hours or whatever it is of the F-16, they're going to do 16 hours maintenance.
Are you serious? The F-16?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I thought that was a really good airplane, but I mean, the last very good one that the U.S. made, I think some people say the F-18, the Hornet or something.
That's what Australia had.
Yeah.
Hornets.
Oh, yeah, and I think Ukraine was calling them junk and they didn't want them, right?
Yeah. Maverick would be pissed off.
Yeah, that was what Top Gun flew in that movie, right?
Yeah. And in the second one, yeah.
Yeah, I heard that, but I don't know what's wrong with the F-22. The F-35 never seems to be perfectly adequate anyway. There's always problems, never-ending problems, year after year after year on the F-35. But I don't know what's wrong with the F-22. I guess maybe it's heavy. Maybe it takes a lot of fuel. I have no idea. Yes, but anyway, out of these...
Here we go. The F-16 needs 17 hours of maintenance for every 1 hour of flight.
Wow, that's incredible.
So it needs regular inspections, repairs, and replacements to ensure it remains safe and reliable.
So you you fly in the air a couple hours, and then you come back, and it's got to be down for at least an entire day.
34 hours, yeah.
Jeez, incredible.
Abrams is 1 hour for 8 hours maintenance.
Yeah, so that's why there's, you don't see more of them getting pulverized by the Russians, because they're all back doing maintenance.
Well, they've got another Abrams today. It's number 8.
Yeah, even after the United States told them to stop putting Abrams in the battlefield because it's too embarrassing, and they're not going to be able to sell them, rip people off, rip off other countries to buy this thing that's too heavy. It doesn't have good gas mileage. You can't stand behind it because you'll get burned to death.
Yeah.
And all kinds of other crappy things,
Yeah, I haven't got it on sound because it's got music.
It sounds impressive, but it's nothing but a big, huge paperweight, I guess.
Yeah, there it goes. Dunk. Got it.
Yes.
Number 8.
That's number 8. I don't know. How many did they send them?
31.
31, and probably all the other ones are sitting back and they're never going to be used because they blow up too easy or something. Yes, but this anyway. There's an article by Lieutenant Colonel Karen Kwiatkowski. She was a former analyst for the United States Department
She's on
of
the
Defense.
judge. She's on the judge's show every week.
Yeah, and she is great. She is really great. She comes up with a lot of information because
Yeah, if you want a good show to watch on YouTube, Judge Napolitano.
yeah, I should watch more of those. I'm too busy doing other things like playing with porcupines that are fighting. But she was talking.
Maybe you put them in an arena, start streaming it, make some money.
Yeah, but I have to be doing it illegally, and as long as the people at the zoo don't see it, I stuck we had this kind of a weird, really stiff kind of a plasticky broom, and I had to keep them apart. But porcupines, I'll tell you what, anybody,
Do I know porcupines? No, I don't.
Encounters a porcupine, you don't want to hold them or nothing like that. But they're actually really friendly to humans. They like humans. They like humans. They do. You hold their hand and they come and they sniff it. And, you hold a nut, like a piece of even a small piece of a walnut. And they'll be very careful not to bite your fingers and they'll take the nut. It's really incredible. They try to be very careful not to bite you. Except, when I'm cleaning cages or something like that, they might kind of scratch on my shoe a little bit, I don't know why they're doing that. I think it's something to play with. And they're like cats. They're curious. And as soon as the door's open, they sneak over there and they want to get out. They try everything. They're pushing it, and they're super strong though. They're super strong. They can like bend, small steel bars and things like that. So it's really interesting critters. I think their eyes are supposed to be bad vision. I don't know. Anyway, here we go. Stop getting me sidetracked onto porcupines here. Anyway, deliver.
Well, you are the zoologist. Dr. Doolittle.
Dr. Duke-Little.
Duke-Little, yeah.
Okay, but according to Karen Kwiatkowski, I don't know if I said her name right. If you saw her on...
Sounds right.
Yeah, okay, sounds right to me too. Oh,
that's what we're going to call her on this show.
If it's wrong, she better change it to how I said
easier.
It.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but anyway, she's really fantastic. She's brilliant. She knows a lot of this stuff. She's very good. I mean, she comes up with a lot of scenarios and things that are very, very likely. This one, she even said this one sounds a little bit too fantastical. But anyway, the U.S. said that they're going to be furnishing or sending, or anyway, the West said they're going to be, sending, whatever bombs and things fit on these things, on these F-16s, to the Ukrainian forces anyway. And there's a nuclear bomb. It's a tactical nuclear bomb called a B-6112, I guess, -12. And it could be part of this plan, she says, since the U.S. has already lately expedited sending a large amount of these tactical nuclear bombs to many NATO NATO bases in Europe. So I guess a lot of these things are now, a lot more of them, since, when did she say? Late in 2022, they started sending a lot of these tactical nukes to Europe. And now that's the military operation was going at that time. So, yeah. Anyway, so she just said that that's something to be watching for, and they might actually want to use these. Okay, at Putin, he had an inauguration ceremony yesterday. It was after 10. He highlighted that Russia will now be going through a new phase of vast economic development. Obviously, this has already started, as we all see that Russia is now rated above Germany, and they're in the top 5 easily of strongest economies, or, what is it? GDP, economies in the world. And they're expected to take over Japan, possibly by the end of this year. So anyway, Scott Ritter was also talking about what Putin was talking about. He's talking more about. We got a video of Scott Ritter talking more about the security side of it.
He's coming to Russia in June.
Yeah, yeah. He was. You know, I think he's doing some special reporting, I guess, for Sputnik. Maybe that's why he's making another trip here. And he actually does speak good Russian. He says he doesn't, but I you know, when he was talking to the Chechens, you know, it sounded pretty good to me. I mean, I'm not an expert at Russian to judge him, but I can understand him. And we've been living here for a couple of years. I know some Russian, but he knows a lot more. Anyway,
without living here.
Yeah, but it's we're talking about, like, I think Putin's term is for 6 years, and he's talking about the security side. And of course, I just mentioned a little bit about the economic side. Russia's growing very well economically, and they're becoming more independent from the West, you know, and it's just like Lukashenko has been pushing import substitution in Belarus. You know, they're doing similar things in Russia. So
here we go.
Relations with the West. Russia's not seeking to dominate anybody, but Russia wants to live in peaceful coexistence with its Western neighbors as an equal, as a nation defined not by Western values, but by Russian values. The thing that made this redefinition possible is this conflict with Ukraine. The special military operation has proven to be the final building block in this new structure of modern Russia. A building block that actually isn't at the top of the Russian edifice, but at the very foundation. A building block of patriotism. A building block that says that the Russians must defend their country. But to defend your country, you must know your country. You must love your country. You must cherish your country. You must be willing to sacrifice for your country. The special military operation has become the litmus test of what it means to be a Russian today. Literally, you're either for Russia or you're against Russia. And for Russians, this choice has been confronted and has been made. And Vladimir Putin is looking to these newly rebranded Russians who have not only said, we love Russia, but we're willing to sacrifice for Russia. We're willing to die for Russia. These new Russian heroes. This is the future of Russia. A Russia that looks to itself for motivation, that looks to itself for inspiration. And this is the Russia that Vladimir Putin is going to lead in the next term in office. An office that will redefine Russia in the final stages of this transformation that has been making continuously since 1999. A Russia that will, for once and all, purge the poison of Western malign influence out of its system and create a pure Russian notion of what Russia is. A Russia where Russians are proud to be Russian and proud of their president, Vladimir Putin.
He must have watched our shows. Because I was talking, what was it? Was it last show or the show before that? I was saying, like, you know, he said that the Ukraine, the special military operation is the final building block, which I don't think it is. But anyway, in you know, this building of Russia and all that. And I was saying, oh yeah, you know, when you're building a country, you have to do it starting from a foundation, and and you can't start on the third row of blocks. You got to start on the first, foundation, first, second, and third. So you got to do it one step at a time. Like I said, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they try to start on the third row, before having the educating people, people being educated and all that sort of stuff. So, they're not going to ever be successful. It's just going to keep falling over because they're not doing it the right way. But he said this war in Ukraine may be the final building block. But I tell you what the final building block is really going to be? It's going to be when the dollar collapses. And that is going to be when Russia is going to really be surging forward. And maybe Russia will have a more stable currency, and maybe other countries will as well. And it's going to be the BRICS, whatever comes in there financially. And at some point in time, the United States is not going to make it. We showed the big chief economist, whatever his name was last week, and he says, I don't understand it at all. Nobody understands why it's working. Everybody's saying it's built on confidence. And and I think even somebody even said that just last days, that when the confidence in the US dollar, or the lack of confidence, is strong enough, the US dollar is going to really be going down. And they owe so much debt. Somebody was saying that, what is it, $3 trillion a year. The United States is now going into debt $3 trillion a year. Every, trimester is $1 trillion more debt for America. That's incredible. It took the United States nearly 200 years to go into debt for its first $1 trillion. And now it has $3 trillion every year. That's incredible. Wow. So, anything else? What do we have here?
Canada?
No, there's one thing I have.
Yeah.
We have, you guys all thought that, they have all these little things, like the Nazis would say, we're the master race. And then you have the Israelis say, well, no, you heard Obama say, Americans are the exceptional people. And, and the Jews say, we are God's chosen people. But I tell you what, Zelensky, he begs issue with that. The God's chosen people, he says, are the Ukrainians. Look at him.
Yeah, because Jesus Christ was a Ukrainian, remember?
Oh, I keep forgetting that. I got to build that into my
first Europeans.
My paradigm. Yeah.
First Europeans, and then they dug the Black Sea.
I know they dug the Black Sea, and I know they built the pyramids, and I know Santa Claus was Ukrainian, and so was the Easter Bunny. But the Jesus, what I keep forgetting all the time.
Have to remind
Gandhi, I think he was Ukrainian too.
Yeah.
If people think he's Indian, but he was actually Ukrainian. I mean, yes. So, but what about, what's that guy? The martial arts guy?
Which martial arts guy?
He's that Putin gave him a...
Bruce Lee? Oh, Steven Seagal.
Yeah, isn't he? No, he's probably Ukrainian. He just doesn't know it.
He doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
He'll find out soon.
He'll get around to it.
He'll get around to it.
But anyway, look at this. He got rid of his green T-shirt for this photo opportunity here.
That's why it looks odd.
Yeah, I was thinking, what is this? Who is that guy? Yeah. Anyway, so he took this probably in a green. It's probably a green screen anyway.
Green screen.
Yeah, green screen. Yeah, and he's God's chosen people. So there's the new ones. And he also said, the world sees it and God knows it, that the Ukrainians are the chosen people. So there you go. So also, we were talking about Belarus. We forgot to mention not Judge Napolitano, but Judge Tomasz Schmidt.
Polish.
Yeah.
He's run away from Poland.
He ran from Poland.
He's here.
Yes, he ran. He's
political asylum.
I don't have a guy.
I've got a photo.
You got a photo of him?
I'll grab a photo. I have a photo of him.
Yeah. Well, we have to show people a photo of him.
Yeah.
That he doesn't have like
horns
or green skin or something like that. Yeah. And then, but anyway, he says he does not agree. Now listen to this. He's in the government there. He does not agree with the U.S. and the U.K.'s influence pushing Poland to war. So, in other words, an insider is telling us that the U.S. and the U.K. are pushing Poland to war. Now, isn't that something? But I thought that Russia and Belarus were the aggressors, and they're just protecting themselves, those poor innocent people.
There he is.
Building their military double the size of Belarus's. Yeah, look at him. Look at him there, people. Look at him. Well, looky there. It looks like any man, doesn't he? Anybody that can be a judge.
Yeah, he said it's better here too.
Yeah?
Which we agree. Well, we tell that everybody all the time.
He said it's better too, huh? Yeah. Well, a lot of people do. It's, like I said, they created a paradigm for a lot of these young Belarusians, and the Polish is actually the ones that did it. I think they admitted it. They, they were very successful of that, and of course, and they were. But the ones that go over there, they want to come back. I think a lot of them. So unless they try to convince themselves it's better here, it's better here. I have to work twice as hard for half as much. And what they mean by material things, you get more money, but it buys you less. Yes. Anyway, I was going to ask you to get the Eurovision.
I've got a Eurovision one.
Oh yeah, we got to see these people.
I don't know if it's. I know it's the same one, but I got one earlier before you said it. It's Is it a photo?
Oh, I forgot to also add what Zelensky said. He says, "We believe God wears a chevron with the Ukrainian flag on his shoulder." Isn't that blasphemy?
Here you go.
Saying that God wears this and assuming what God thinks. Oh no, that's not it. But I think maybe it's the.
This is Eurovision.
I think I sent it to you on that one thing, and you can maybe put that up there because you should, because that's one of our naked videos. We can.
Oh, we have to get off YouTube.
Oh, hell yeah.
Got a few things to do before then.
I keep forgetting we're on YouTube. I guess you can say some stuff on YouTube. We'll see if we don't get taken down.
We'll find out.
If we get away with saying whatever the stuff I said.
Trudeau. Mr. Trudeau TV.
Oh yeah, the new law. Gosh.
Well, besides that law, we've got a
new law that's going to be coming. You said maybe they're thinking.
Well, there's 2 new laws. So here we go.
I forgot already. You told me.
Yes. So Canada to imprison anyone who has ever posted hate speech online. That's going backwards as well. Like so if you posted something a year ago, you could get imprisoned.
Or 5 years ago.
Yeah. Is he going to go to jail for blackface? Oh, is that hate speech? I don't know. And supposedly there's a new law going in that to leave Canada, if you want to get out of there, leave, not live there anymore, you have to pay the government $25,000.
They make that thing, it's a real hellhole for people now. I hear so many people, like they have a lot of these videos, on TikTok or wherever. I don't know where it is. I think I saw it on YouTube, but they're telling how, they just can't make it. They just can't. I don't even know how these people are doing anything because, they don't have enough money to even just make it in Canada. And then they got to come up with 25,000 if they're going to leave. We told them a couple episodes ago they should come to Belarus, but I don't know. I guess they can't even afford to do that. So they're going to keep, these people are going to be in endless poverty. It's really incredible.
They could always get euthanized.
Yeah, I guess they have euthanization. Look at that. Just when the saints, come marching in. So if you see somebody's dear sweet mother.
Is that why you work at the zoo?
Why is that?
Because you're singing so bad.
Oh. Okay. I thought it was something about the saints or something.
Okay, everybody, please go to our Rumble channel for the rest of the live show. If you're on YouTube, I will now post the link.
We'll even show you that Biden video that we couldn't show earlier.
That one, yeah.
Okay, see you there.
There's a link. Just posted that, and just give it a couple seconds because it's about 20 seconds behind, roughly. And then we'll go. We'll start this section and then we'll play some other videos, which has got nothing to do with Belarus anyway, but we'll go, you don't see that in Belarus next. And then we'll show that video that you want to show and a couple other things. And another mention, tomorrow, victory parade for the Great Patriotic War, all the sacrifices that were made. And if you want to see, well, that didn't work. If you want to see some World War II stuff or Great Patriotic World stuff. Oops, that's you in the war.
Yeah, that's a Chinese guy.
Yeah, there's T-34 and a few other things that'll be on the parade. This is from the rehearsal. We'll be streaming live in the morning. I can't remember what time it is.
I want that Jeep back behind that T-34.
Yeah.
Wow. We saw one, didn't we? Was that at the Stalin line? We saw a Jeep like that.
Yeah, Stalin line.
In that shed in the back.
And a T-34.
Yeah, the T-34.
A few of those. So, Dun, 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 dun. We need some music for this.
Yeah.
You don't see that in Belarus.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to grab that. I'm just posting on. I've done that on YouTube, and now I'm going to cut everybody off on YouTube.
See you on Rumble, everybody.
And we're off.